All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. Today we have Canada C3 Hangout today. Very exciting. We have some classes joining us. So I'm going to, there we go. Okay. Exploring by the Seat of Your Pants. Oh. Today we have Canada C3. Sorry, guys. Today. I'm just Very making exciting. Sure we've got everybody. We have some classes joining us. Okay, sorry about that, everyone. Making sure that everybody's in and that we're all good. Okay, so we have a very exciting day today. We're going to be talking about some invertebrates, and we're talking with Canada C3 researchers and some teachers. So Canada C3 is a signature project for Canada's 150th anniversary, and the centerpiece is an epic 150-day sailing journey from Toronto to Victoria via the Northwest Passage. And it's going to connect Canadians from coast to coast to coast and inspire a deeper understanding of our land, our peoples, and the past, present, and future of our country. The expedition is divided into 15 legs and will have a cross-section of Canadian society on board, including scientists, artists, Indigenous elders, historians, community leaders, youth, journalists, and educators. These diverse and accomplished Canadians will connect with communities, conduct research, create art, music, and together celebrate Canada. So today we're joining our scientists and our teachers, Dr. Henry Choong and Dr. Josée Pennober. Is that how you say your name? Did I get it close?
Yes, Josée Pennober. I'm the teacher.
Yes. Awesome. And I know we have your class with us today. So I'll tell you a little bit more. Henry's our Curator of Invertebrate Zoology at the Royal British Columbia Museum.
Yes.
Oh, we got another class joining us. Okay. And he has his Ph.D. from the University of Toronto. And Henry works in taxonomy, biogeography, dispersal mechanisms, and invasive species. And Josée is a passionate secondary school science teacher. She's on a mission to transmit her flame to her students, so that they can also become ambassadors themselves. And Josée lives in the magnificent region of Outaouais, where she profits from nature around her and takes advantage of numerous sports. So without further ado, I will make sure that you guys can start talking. So whenever you're ready.
All right. Well, amazing journey so far. I've been working with Henry, the scientist, one of the scientists on board here. I will sometimes speak in French. I know that there's a lot of French schools following. My class is right there. Salut la gang. Je vois que vous avez vos belles affiches. That's good. Yeah, so we've been collecting a lot of invertebrate species. Henry, but there's a lot of science going on this ship. We're doing more than sampling these invertebrates. So we can show you a little bit of what we got. I don't know if any of this, are you going to present the different schools? And maybe they can tell us if they researched a little on these invertebrates before joining us. So
that sounds great. That sounds great. So I've got everybody on mute, and I am taking people off mute kind of one at a time here. I know some of our teachers are turning the mute on and off. So we're just going to see if we can go one at a time and get everybody to let us know who they are. So starting with, we have Miss Nourshimulu. I think we've got you on mute still. Do we have you? There you are. Hi, guys. Did you guys do any research on invertebrates?
Yes. From you in the camera. Yeah. Hi.
Hello. Okay, guys, so does anybody have something they wanted to tell us about their invertebrate research really quick?
What do you guys think? Guys, they're talking to you right now.
We think that you guys see most.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to come back to you guys if you don't have a speaker yet.
Okay.
What?
This is hard to.
Wait, I'm going to make an executive decision.
Okay, guys, does anybody have
I
something
think
they
I'm
want
going
to
to
say?
cut it.
One person at a time. All right, Olivia.
We found out that the species moon jelly that you probably see most.
Can you hear us?
Miss Galita, please contact the office.
Hello.
Okay, we're going to sneak off to another class, but we'll come back to you guys, okay? Miss Noosh?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I
Can you,
have Miss Lynch's class. I'm going to take you off mute, and you can let us know what invertebrate research you guys did.
Say hi.
Good morning. Sup, peeps.
Say we did. You can tell we did not research it.
We
so
did
you've
not
been looking
research.
at starfish?
We didn't research yet.
Yeah, we didn't research.
We didn't quite research. We didn't research yet.
Well, here's one we have collected so far.
We don't.
Ooh,
That's cool. Yeah.
There's many of them here. This one is orange, and there's actually others that are purple.
orange and purple. That's cool. Yeah, me either. So thank you.
All right, guys, we'll hear from you again in a bit. Okay, so this is Felice. Are you there? Do you have anyone who would like to talk about some invertebrate research they did? Okay, well, hang tight and we'll get back to you guys. Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I was just near the boat talking to some of the kids. Our sound level at the museum right now is a little bit higher. We have a lot of groups that are just passing through the exhibit. So if any of the other schools are having questions, maybe take them before you take them.
Sounds great. Okay. We'll come back. We'll see you later.
For sure.
Okay, so next up we have Miss DeVore's class. Hi, guys.
Hey! Everybody down!
Okay, did you guys do any research on invertebrates?
No! Oh, yes, we have. Yes, actually, yes. A little bit. Just a little. Not just. And I have a question. Hi, the 5-year-old. Hi.
Okay, guys, so what we'll do is we'll come back to you guys for questions in a little bit. How's that sound? Okay, so let's see. We have Mr. Seguin, your class. Are you guys there? Hello. Have you guys done any invertebrate research? Yes. I knew you would.
So these are actually my students.
Yes, so they are well researched.
Allô, madame! Donc, nous, on a fait de la recherche sur les invertébrés. On a recherché environ 15 invertébrés en équipe. Puis, on a fait des belles affiches. Yeah!
They've been researching invertebrates, and they actually had the nice Bristol board banner to one of the invertebrates. We're gonna actually see today which one. There you go, guys! Awesome. That's great. Can't wait to see that. Ici, yeah. So this is one of the urchins. Urchins here. There you go. We have a sample right here, folks. So that's awesome. Hey, that's nice. So yes, we've been.
I think we may have lost our connection a little bit with the boat. Thank you very much to our classroom. I love those posters. They look great. So, Mr. Séguin's class, we're going to put you on mute just for a second, and we'll go visit our other classroom. Okay. And we have... Hello, guys. Oh, hang on. Trying to get you off mute here, guys. Having some trouble today. All right, what about Miss Sheriff's class? Hi, guys. Okay, so I think we have lost our connection with the C3 boat. If you guys can still hear us, maybe you could try logging out and back in again. I don't think we have video or audio from the C3 boat right now. But Ms. Sheriff's class, do you guys have any information on invertebrates that you want to share?
Yes. On the mussels, I found that they can be pretty invasive.
That's awesome. That's great information.
First, I looked at barnacles because they were large, so they would be very good at pulling seed dwellers to the bottom. So then I looked at mussels, and they seem and they all say.
Awesome. That's great, guys. Okay, so Ms. Sheriff's class, we'll come back to you guys for questions, all right?
Okay.
Okay, and who's our last class? Ms. Shazadi's class?
What? Yeah.
We never did any research yet, but like we'd like to introduce ourselves. We're from Canada and we are in grade 7, and we'd like to say hi again.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So I think what we are going to do right now, we're going to put you guys back on mute. We are going to keep trying to get back in touch with the C3 boat. I'm going to see if we got any emails from them. We are looking, because yeah, their video has cut out. So I know it's hard to keep a internet signal when you're on land. Can you imagine how hard it is when you're on a boat? Awesome. Okay, so in the meantime, Monsieur Séguin's class, I'm going to unmute you guys. Do you guys want to share your posters with us?
Sure, we can share the posters. So, on a besoin d'une équipe, we need a team. Allez, allez les filles, les présenter. Vous parlez un peu en anglais?
Non, on va parler en français. On va parler en français.
Vous êtes là.
Hi.
Hello.
So we're talking about it's the moon jellyfish. C'est la méduse lune. Il y a beaucoup de tentacules. Il peut avoir plus que 1200 tentacules.
est dangereuse pour l'humain.
Ouais. It's very dangerous.
Would you like to have another team?
Yeah,
coming
for
up?
sure. We're still
Yeah.
working to get in touch with the boat.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Décrivez ce que vous avez.
That's the duck shrimp.
Yes. We did research on the dock shrimp.
Yes.
What did you learn?
Learned that they're extremely common and not really special at all.
And they're cool.
They're one of the most boring shrimp in the world.
Where can they be found?
Everywhere.
North in the north of Norway and Scandinavia.
North Canada and United States, kind of everywhere. And very numerous and not very pretty.
Do people eat these shrimp?
It's a pleasure.
All right, guys. So we're still working to get in contact with the C3 vessel. Do you guys have one more team?
Yes, we can surely have one more team.
Okay.
Come on, anyone. I think they're shy.
No need to be shy, guys. We all love science here.
They're actually the Josée students, so I don't know them all. Maybe. Oh, okay. All right.
Nous, c'est la moule bleue de l'Ouest.
The blue mussel from the west. I don't know if it's.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's pretty common as well. It's not so long. It's about 7 to 11 centimeters long, and it's very smooth. Hey!
We're back.
Yay, you're back. We got some amazing presentations from your class. They're just finishing up our blue clam. Is that what that was?
Yeah. This is great.
Yay. Goodbye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's put you guys on mute, and we'll get Madame to tell us a little bit about the clams she's got.
So this is actually the one that we're talking about, the bleu, les moules bleues. So we have a sample of that right here. So sorry about the connection, is that we are moving right now. It is BC weather, so get connection. So we'll go quick to the other ones. What else have we? There's a neat one. That a giant slug, un gros ver ou un parasite géant. And this is actually the sea cucumber. And le concombre de mer actually doesn't look very good in this jar. It's not happy. But probably when you research it, and I remember it was Coralie, search it, and it's orange, and it has these tentacles. Yes, that is catching up their food and bringing it back in. So as soon as they were in the water, and it was beautiful, but as soon as we scoop it, plugged in. So, and this is how we have them when we collect them. What else do we have here? I found a lot of barnacles. So the barnacles, c'est un arthropode, les barnacles. Donc, Je pense que c'était Aude qui travaillait sur les barnacles dans ma classe. There's a lot of them, and they're very strange and funny looking. Can you talk about the barnacles? How big can they get?
Well, the barnacles come in all shapes and sizes. So the most common are these ones here. You see some of them are quite small. They're on these barnacles are actually on the mussels here. Bring it right? Yeah, there you go. See, tiny little barnacles on mussels. So the one we see the most are called acorn barnacles. As far as size goes, you get the giant barnacle also. They get about this big. Usually they can be quite small, and sometimes when they grow really close together, they will grow up and up and up, and they can be very long and narrow. So they usually 3 different types of barnacles that we find here in this part of BC. Barnacles are very neat. Barnacles lie on their backs when they're adults, right? And their feet are up in the air. Food into their mouths.
And we have this is very neat. It's not an invertebrate, but I thought I would talk about it. Because at first, when Henry and I were collecting on the shore, time it was funny, and at some point he said, "Take one of those." I thought it was cedar because I don't know if you can see, but it looks like. And because there was a lot of cedars hanging over where we were collecting. And finally he said, no, this is an algae actually. C'est une sorte d'algue, mais ça ressemble beaucoup à une branche de cèdre. Something I've learned here. One of the things, many things I've learned. What else do we have? Oh yeah, these guys. Limpets. There's a lot of limpets here. I don't know who worked on those in my class, but they were pretty easy to catch. That's the thing as well. It's very hard to grab some samples because they are attached to the rocks or to the different mussels there. And we have another one here. Recognize those? Do you see it? Crabs, little crabs. What type of?
These are little shore crabs.
Little shore crabs. So we've been able so we have to process them very quickly, and so they can have good DNA sampling afterwards. And as far as in what we put, Henry, can you explain?
Oh, we've lost some audio video here again. Let's hang tight and see if it comes back. Like they said, moving, and if anyone's ever been out to British Columbia, you know that they get a lot of ocean weather. So they got a little bit of bad weather today that might affect our connection. So let's see if we can hang tight. Okay, they might have to drop out and come back. So we'll see. Okay. Oh, that's a good question, guys. So we'll make sure that we ask that when our connection comes back. Why is the water green and yellow? It's a good question. So that would be the fluid that they're preserving the samples in. So we'll ask them why it's that color. That's a great question. Okay, so we're still waiting to hear back from our ship. All right, maybe while we wait, we can go to our classes again. If you guys have something that you want to share, I see that Mrs. DeVore's class has something they want to share. Let's see if I can take you off mute.
All right, Alyssa, ask your question.
Okay, get the thing out of my face. I will throw it at you. Okay. Okay. I would like to know why they're on the ship. Like, what are they doing? Like,
Yeah, that's a great question. So when they come back, hopefully we can get them to address that. I know we wanted to ask them a little bit about their background and how they got on the ship, because it's a really great opportunity, right? So we'll see what they say. So that's a great question. I'll write that one down so that we can ask it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
You're pretty. You're pretty.
Okay, so now Miss Sheriff's class, I see you guys have lots of great questions. What's the other one here? Let's see, I'll take you guys off mute so you can, maybe you could ask us your question. Let us know what you're interested in knowing. Hi, guys. I saw you guys had another question. How do barnacles attach?
Yes.
That's a great question. We'll see if we can get them back to answer these questions for you guys. These are awesome. So keep thinking of all these questions and we'll make sure we ask them. Good job, guys. Okay, I see that we have a class. Let's see. Still waiting on the boat, but I think they're coming back. Okay. Miss Sharif's class, hi. You guys have a question for when they come back, I hear.
Where did they get all those animals and how did they get them to stay fresh and in the container and fresh?
That's a great question. I think that we're going to get the answer to that. We're going to ask about the fluid that they're stored in. So we'll see what chemicals they use to help preserve the specimens. Great question, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So let's see, Miss Nurse Mulu's class. Nurse Mulu, how am I saying your class name correctly? Oh, I think we still got you on mute. Let's see.
It's
Hi, guys.
Guys, come on, question. Sorry. Why do the ask your questions. Three questions. How do you guys release the animals? Okay. Do you guys?
I heard something about releasing the animals, so that's a great question. We can ask them.
Or one person at a time. Ask your question again. Or do you like give them or something like that?
What was that question? Sorry.
And do you guys release them after, or like do you just?
That's a great question. So we'll ask the C3 team when they join us again. They're just trying to reconnect. So it's a great question. All right, thanks, guys.
Wait, we have more questions.
Okay, let's see. What other questions do you guys have right now? How long were they on the ship for? Okay, very nice. So we'll see if we can ask them that. How long? That's a good question. All right.
Another question? Can I go?
I know.
Yes. Come on.
Like, do they go underwater to catch the animal? Like, even though it's on the sand down there, it's like farther.
That's a great question. I know a lot of the times they do some scuba diving and things like that. So when they join us again, we'll make sure to ask that. Great question. Okay, I think that we've got a few more questions, guys. So we're going to move to the other classes. Hang tight. Okay. Thanks, Miss DeVore's class. We'll see you guys later. They have to leave because their class is ending. All right. Sorry, guys, that we lost our ship connection. Okay, so I think Miss Sharif's class has one more question. So let me open your microphone. Okay, Miss Sharif's class, what do you guys think?
Are you guys gonna do like anything more than just like show us things and go outside?
I don't know that they can bring their webcam with them. It's inside of the hull of the boat. The captain's deck is in there. So I don't know that they can carry it around like you might be able to on a cell phone or something like that. They might be able to show you a little bit around the deck where they're standing. So we'll see if we can ask them to do that. How does that sound?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Okay. All right. So we'll see if we can get them to show you guys around a little bit when they come back, okay? Awesome. Okay, guys. So I am just going to see, I'm going to check in on email, see if we can't get them to join us one more time. Okay, we are still here. Okay. Let's see if we can get them back. All right, in the meantime, I know we haven't visited Monsieur Seguin and Madame's class. Do you guys have any other questions or any other things you'd like to present to us?
Pardon?
Hi.
The food is good. They want to know if the food is good on the ship.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
They want to know if Madame Pennober is having a great trip.
Okay. I'm sure she would love to answer that question. I hope that we can get their connection back. All right, so we'll hang on for a little bit longer, see if we can't get them to join us. Okay, were there any other? Can everybody hear me okay? I think Miss Sharif's class is having trouble. Okay, we got some thumbs up, so my mic should be working. I'll send her a message. We're having some technical difficulties on this Hangout today, guys. That's okay. You guys are troopers for sticking it out. Okay. So is there any other students from Madame's class who would like to show us their posters that haven't gone yet? There we go.
Non, moi j'ai pas fait de recherche.
And I think it's the last one we have.
Oh, I think we got our boat connection back. Hello. Hi. You're back. Amazing. So we have a lot of great questions that the students have been asking. So we can get some of the questions answered.
Around, so you can see.
Okay, yeah. Okay. They wanted to see around where you're standing, so that'd be great.
So as you can see, there's a lot of mountains.
Hello.
Hi.
Beautiful view.
Hi, my name is Himas. Hereditary.
Very fortunate to have him on board.
That's awesome. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you, Chief, for being down. Here we are in Jeff. My class remembers Jeff.
Bonjour tout le monde.
I think.
And the captain is not here right now, but this is where yes.
Awesome. Can
This
you?
is them, education team. So, do you guys have any questions while
Yes,
we're here?
we do. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we had lots of questions while we were on break. So one of the questions we had was from, I can't remember which class we were talking to, but we were wondering, when you catch the animals, how do you keep them fresh and what fluid are they stored in those jars?
Those jars. Every one of those jars is one of those jars. We store these particular ones in ethanol. And the ethanol keeps the cells from degrading and keep them fresh. However, as you can see, it changes the color a little bit. When it's preserved, they tend to lose their color. Preserve them in formalin, depending on what you need. Here you go.
That's awesome.
When we catch them on shore, we make sure that they are in saline water. So we make sure that they are in the water from until we get on board to process them.
Awesome. And they were wondering if you guys ever dive underwater. Do you scuba or anything like that to catch some of the creatures?
Not on this trip, no.
So everything's collected on shore.
But,
awesome.
Tomorrow, well, some of the samples are collected from the zodiacs, but it's more water sampling. And there's also a big bottom of the ocean, or where we stand, to grab, and from the sand, then we can analyze They can analyze the different specimens that are there. We'll have the chance to swim with salmon. So we will wear dry suits and being snorkeling with salmon. Campbell River? Yeah, so that's pretty neat.
That's awesome. And so when you are studying some of these animals, do you ever release some of them back into their habitat, or do you keep them to study them later?
We don't collect everything we see. So yes, we do. We observe a lot of them in the environment. We collect what we need to.
That's awesome. Great. Okay, so we have one more question from the students, and then I have a question about Dr. Choong's research. So how is the food on board, Madame, and how is your trip? Your classroom wanted to know how the food was and how the trip is so far.
Yeah. Donc, on a la chance d'avoir un chef, Jamie Kennedy. Il y en a qui le savent. Donc, Jamie a cuisiné pour nous deux gourmets incroyables. Et on mange toujours des choses qui sont locales. Et on a aussi été tellement gâtés en visitant les différentes communautés. Donc, les communautés autochtones qui nous accueillaient avec des festins incroyables aussi. Sur le bateau, on mange bien. Donc, je vais probablement prendre quelques livres, là, c'est pas grave. It's all worth it. Ça vaut la peine.
That's great. Awesome. Okay, so we had another question from Miss Sheriff's class about how barnacles attach to other animals.
Barnacles when barnacles are little and tiny, they actually don't look like barnacles at all. They can, okay? So the larvae actually looks like, I don't know what you would call them, crabs or yeah, they just don't look like barnacles. They will swim around and find a suitable substrate. They will attach themselves. Now, some barnacles will secrete calcareous base, okay, and others will not do. So, will actually be attaching. Okay.
I'm Jimmy. I'm just on board, but I happen to have really loved barnacles. It's a weird thing that I love. When like you were saying, when they're free floating, they're just swimming around and they kind of look like crabs. But then one day they attach head first onto whatever they're attaching to, something like that, or maybe even another animal. And then their legs are just up in the air like this for the rest of their life. And they're sweeping through the water and picking up the food.
They'll be doing that all their lives.
For the rest of their lives, and just picking up the food and eating whatever floats by.
That's what I do when I go to dinner.
Anyway.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Ms. Sheriff's class, how was that? Did that help you guys understand about barnacles? Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I know that Ms. Sharif's class was hoping we could see a little bit more of the surroundings. So are you guys able to show us around a little bit?
Yeah. Here in Wakeman Passage. Bill, if you don't mind, you can talk about this region here.
And Kinkum Inlet is one of the longer inlets next to Knight's Inlet in the province of British Columbia, which is at the head of it. Population, not many people there now, but
it is.
We just left Wakeman, which is over there. That's my
I don't know if you can see it from here, but there's a lot of streams coming down in the mountains. It's beautiful.
first snow.
Wow.
Yeah, mostly water. So we are heading towards a place called. Oh, we are now. Yes. So basically here we are surrounded by
That's awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I would like to visit. We have Miss Lynch's class. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, we do.
Go ahead.
What kinds of shrimp have you guys studied on the boat?
What about the shrimp?
Have you studied? I don't see any shrimp.
Oh, we collect this stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
after.
on a different one. Yeah, we collect from the tidal pools. We also collected some shrimp. The crabs.
Oh yeah. With the scoop that grabs the sand.
Yeah.
There were some shrimps.
That's awesome. And did you guys?
No, I don't.
Okay. And did you guys discover any new species?
That remains to be seen. So when we take everything back, we'll be taking everything to the Royal BC Museum in Victoria and packed up. And from there, much of it will be sent to the Canadian Museum of Nature in Ottawa. Different scientists working on material. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll have new stuff. I think probably so.
That's exciting.
I just noticed that the captain here. Would you like to meet the captain?
That would be great. Miss Lynch's class will come back in a minute.
Stéphane, I'm putting
Ces amis-là.
Stéphane. Stéphane parle français. So my class is right there.
Bonjour à tous, les amis.
Let's see if we can get some vocals. Say hi, guys. Say hi.
I like this. I like this. Me. Trip, how do you think this trip is going?
She has to go one by one.
There we go. Anybody have an answer?
That's pretty well.
We'll show you our trip.
So this is one of the maps that they are using where we are going. So see, the Vancouver Island is right here. Do you see it well? And if we zoom it, we are right here.
Yeah, and we came all the way here.
Oh, do you want to angle the camera down a little bit?
Yes, sorry.
Beautiful.
Here.
There's a troll fishery in Johnstone Strait. I have no reports.
All the way to Toronto. This was our trip.
So that was the trip leaving from Toronto here. And as you can see, the red and yellow dots shows where they stop.
And where are you guys right now on the map?
Where are we now in the map?
On the map, we are here.
Can you see? Yeah. On va l'agrandir un peu. Island is here. So we are going into this inlet right here. Right there.
Very exciting. That's awesome. Great. I think we have a few more questions. Are you guys able to answer a few more questions?
Yes.
Okay,
no
so Miss Nursey Moulu's class, go ahead. Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. You're still on mute here. There you go.
Sorry. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So how do you because we heard the invertebrates. Invertebrates, like they don't have spines. How do they move, really?
Okay, I have a question for Henry then. I'll go see Henry. Say bye to Captain.
Bye-bye, guys. Salut à tous les amis.
So Henry, we have a question for you here.
Yeah.
So can you repeat the question?
How do we heard that the invertebrates don't have spines? How do they move?
Well, okay, they move in many ways, right? Okay, so they don't have spines, but they have their skeleton for most times is actually outside of them, like shells, or
like crab.
They'll have a hard covering. How do they move? Lots of invertebrates move by, what do they live in? A lot of them live in water, right? So how they move is they will suck the water in and pump the water out the other side, and that'll move them forward. Okay?
But what?
So they move in many ways. They can crawl on the surface, or they can move by pumping water through their bodies, kind of like jet propulsion.
Okay.
They can move in different ways. And some of them don't move. Move very much, like you see barnacles. When they're adults and they have cemented themselves on the bottom, they'll stay there.
So they sink.
Right? And others will simply drift with the current. So the current takes them wherever they go. Up they move.
Great question.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. We're going to move on to the other classes so we can. Okay, we got to go to the other classes. We only have time for a little bit more. I'm sorry, guys. Thank you very much for that great question. Okay, let's see. Ms. Lynch's class. Last question from Ms. Lynch's class. Go ahead.
So how many miles have you traveled on the boat?
How many miles have we traveled so far?
Yes.
Just a second, we're getting there.
Nautical mile. This would be our trip. 12,000 nautical mile, 20,000 kilometers.
12,000. So more than 20,000 kilometers so far.
That's a lot.
And
Thank you. That's a lot.
Thank you, guys. Great question. Okay, Monsieur Seguin and Madame students, do you guys have another question?
Est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un une question?
En passant, je voudrais saluer les autres groupes qui peut-être suivent là, mais qui ne peuvent pas communiquer avec moi, donc j'aimerais les saluer aussi. Et les classes du Dôme aussi, et les classes de Saint-Paul, et peut-être de Grand-Boisé aussi. Donc, je vais juste saluer tout le monde. Puis, avez-vous des questions?
Je pense pas qu'il y a personne qui a de questions. On va attendre que tu reviennes, Josée.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for being here, and we'll make sure that you guys get to ask some other questions from Madame later on. But we're just going to go one more question from Miss Sharif's class. Go ahead with your question. What was your question? Last one. Where do you sleep?
Where do they sleep on the boat?
Did you guys get that? Where did you sleep on the boat?
Oh, very comfortable beds. It's actually bunk beds. And Henry and I are very fortunate to both in our room on the top. So it's funny to climb up there every night and in the morning. You don't need to go to the bathroom. That's the only thing. Because it's very hard to at night when you're all sleepy. It's fun. It's very comfortable bed.
Awesome, great question. Thanks, Miss Sharif's class and Miss Sheriff's class. I'm going to take you guys off mute. I think, can you hear me? Do you guys have a question, Miss Sharif's class?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You don't remember. Oh, okay.
How many?
I'll ask it.
Yeah, go.
I'll ask a question.
Okay, go.
I remember. Okay, ask a question. How many species do you find a day? Not like news. Not like
we find a day. Whoa, that's good.
like how many animals circling the
Hundreds of species in one morning.
Wow.
In the water, there's very, very small plankton and other cells, very small species. So there can be, as Henry was saying, 100.
Great question, guys.
Water.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, we have one more quick question from online. Miss Walchuk's class asks, how long has the team been traveling for?
As long as the question.
It was how long has the team been traveling for?
Been since June 1st, yeah, June 1st from Toronto. And as for myself, it's been since October 10th, so last Monday. 130. We are at 139 days.
Great.
Right now, out of 100.
Not that anyone's counting, right? That's awesome. Great. Well, thank you guys so much. We have reached our hour limit here. We had so many great questions from so many great classes. So thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll have they'll have the students say goodbye. You guys have your microphones on. Amazing. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great day, everyone.